AI is leaking into all parts of our lives, and marketing is no exception. Actually, marketing is probably one of the most impacted industries, especially when it comes to SEO.
Welcome to the Raw Spotlight Podcast, a series where we share our perspective on leadership, entrepreneurship, and the ever-evolving world of digital marketing. I'm Emily Au, co-founder of Ready Artwork, joined by my business partner, Victor Quinn. Let's get started with the show.
Today, we're coming to you from Chiang Mai, where we're attending one of the most cutting-edge SEO conferences in the world. It's not just about the location that we're in, but really the conversation and conferences that's happening about the future of SEO and AI and how it's growing in the industry and AI search strategies. So Victor, it's great being here together in Chiang Mai. What are you most looking forward to?
Looking forward to learning, right? As we all kind of have heard, AI leaking into all parts of our lives. And marketing is no exception. Actually, marketing is probably one of the most impacted industries, especially when it comes to SEO. We're here to learn, right? We traveled halfway across the world to get new perspectives on things, sort of to get out of the echo chamber, if you will.
Right.
It's a good way to see how other people are approaching AI, how they're looking at SEO, as opposed to just kind of staying within our little circle. So we've attended another international event earlier this year and got a lot of really good information out of it. And we've been hearing really good things about Chiang Mai. So this is our first time here.
You mentioned there's another one that we attended earlier this year. And if anyone's following our videos, you probably would have seen. I'm interested to see what has changed since March, because AI has been moving at a really quick pace. There's a drone flying right above us.
Yeah. It's crazy here.
Yeah. But I want to see since March, what has changed and what's the outlook now that we're in the tail end of 2025. Sure, I know we just registered. We just got our fresh badges. But what do you think of the atmosphere so far?
There's a lot of energy, as you guys just saw right now with the drone shot right above our heads. And then I believe in this video, we're going to try something a little bit different. Typically, we do a end of each day-by-day conference. This is such a long event. We're going to compile the different days, the entire conference into one video so you guys can follow along. And we'll make sure we'll put chapters in there and see how this works out, right? So hopefully you guys enjoy this this longer form video with day-by-day kind of conversations as we learn throughout this coming week.
I'll let you guys know how it goes. Okay, Victor, so we just finished day one. 3 sessions. They were broken up into 2 separate talks per session. Which ones did you go to and, what did you like about?
The 3 I went to, the first one was talking about Parasite SEO. The second one was about design and the impacts of SEO. And then the third one is GEO, or what we call it as AI SEO, like Generative Search Engine Optimization. So GEO is one of the few terms that are really popular right now. What about you? Which ones did you go to? I know I saw you at least one of them.
I think you and I had overlapped on 2 of the 3. The other one that I went to was in regards to digital PR, because traditionally there's public relations, but now with the digital space, how do you get picked up by journalists now? And how do you make it easy for journalists to want to write about you and pick up your article and information? So that's the one that I went to. Very good information. What did you like about the sessions you were in?
So the first one was Parasite. Even for those that have been in the SEO industry, not all of the people have heard about what Parasite is. There's parts of Parasite that are what we consider black hat or gray hat. So in the SEO world, when we say white hats, it's basically you're doing everything by the books and you're not doing anything risky or things that if you get caught, you'll get in trouble, right? So I feel like it's the early 2000s all over again, especially with the AI SEO. Back when SEO just emerged as a viable industry, there was a lot of black hat SEO happening. There was like keyword stuffing. There was tricking the systems, link farming, very, very sketchy link building strategies. And they worked. People did it because they worked. But then, Google got really good at filtering them out. With every algorithm update, they were cutting people out. So I feel like now with SEO, AI SEO, it's happening all over again where people are finding loopholes. It's a natural evolution, right? Parasite is coming back. Parts of it is legitimate backlink building, piggybacking off of really good high authority websites. And then parts of it, it's a little bit sketchy. Take it with a grain of salt. I think it's good to hear about it.
Right.
Not that you basically run and do everything, because, especially us as an agency, there's a lot of risk and reputation at hand. So we can't afford to just run out there and do everything sketchy and get a client site banned, right? So yeah, that's the first session for me.
Yeah, but he also, I was there as well, Victor. So the speaker had talked about the three main pillars of LLM visibility, large language model visibility. So the first one was from a PR perspective, get listed on like Quora, Reddit, and platforms like that, so that you have that visibility from LLMs, because they love platforms like Reddit, right? The other one's listicles. Make sure you are listed in a lot of listicles, and it's the same, right? Make sure that there's a consistency in the way you're listing yourself or your business in all these platforms. And then the last one was making sure, like on forums, you have mentions as well. So these three are the main three pillars of making sure that you and or your organization is listed and it's visible on LLMs. It was good for him to call out these three pillars.
My second speaker, that's the one where we didn't go in, was a more traditional SEO. She came from an agency and then went to a single brand to do marketing. And then now she's back in an agency, but she was talking about her agency experience, in-house experience, where things move very slow. Like in agency life, things move fast because we charge clients for things and we need to deliver. So to her, it was more like a big shock, if you will, going into a traditional in-house marketing position where they were doing like custom shirts, and their website, custom t-shirts was tanking. The keyword was tanking. It took her a while to figure out, but her hypothesis is that the user experience, the design portion of it, was really hurting their rankings, although it's hard to quantify from an SEO perspective. So they did the traditional things, right? Like, okay, let's add more content on our category pages. Let's make sure the site runs more efficient. Like, let's improve performance. Let's get more digital PR and backlinks. Those are all the things you would do as a good SEO. Right. But for some reason, it just wasn't moving the needle, and it kept coming down. And then it took them almost an entire year to rebuild the site and rebuild the page.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So that's the thing with in-house brands, is like you always have competing priorities. You have the SEO team and you have the advertising team. And then for them, they only had one developer. So they were also like putting out a new CMS. So this one poor dude is like totally like stretched thin. So they just didn't want to do it, or didn't have the capacity, or didn't want to spend the money on it. Versus within the agency, like, hey, you're paid to do SEO, then you got to deliver, right? So that's one of the big things about in-house versus agency. The other one was after a year, luckily, her hypothesis was correct. Like, they improved the user experience, the design, and that directly impacted their ranking and their traffic and conversions, and how she did A/B tests to get to that point. It's interesting to see like how not just the traditional checkmark SEO stuff, you have to do, but you also have to think of the overall experience. And one of the things in the industry as a whole, especially with AI, is now like you have to think of websites more holistically, and not just like, hey, we're looking at this keyword or looking at the performance. You really have to understand the business and the user experience. When a customer comes in and they have a good experience, they're going to buy more. And when they do that, Google is going to see that action and reward you more, right? So it's not just going after that one keywording where you have to think more holistically.
When you went to that session, I went to the build PR relationships that actually scale. They had some really good tips in there. Like us, Ready Our Work, if we were the agency to help you build links or get listed on other articles or websites, it's important, whether it be an agency or someone that's doing it in-house for you, to make sure that your pitch deck and your pitch template has all the information that is needed, making it easy for the journalist to pick up your article so that they can, mention you on their platform. So making sure that the author information is listed, well, and letting them verify you, ensure that your LinkedIn profile or all the other mentions of the author is easily found on your pitch deck, so that it just makes it a lot easier for the journalists to do their job, right? because they get a lot of inquiries and requests daily. I'm pretty sure if they have a HARO, help a reporter out request, they're gonna get thousands and thousands of like submissions. So you got to make it easy for them to look through what you're submitting and does it match what they originally had requested for, and include it in your pitch template so that it's just makes it so simple for them to say yes or no to.
Yeah. And for those of our audience that are not familiar with what and why you would want to even have digital PR or a deck, when we're talking about SEO, we have on-site and off-site. So on-site are all the things that people see after they get to your website. And off-site is how Google sees you as a brand, as a website. So when we talk about off-site SEO, the only way Google can understand that is what are people outside of your website talking about and how they see you, right? So when we talk about PR, digital PR is the same thing as running a traditional press release, right? And reporters will pick up the story and publish it. So when we're talking about a pitch deck, if someone has a topic about that's within your industry and they go, hey, I'm interested to write an article about how the tariffs are impacting lettuce, right? And you happen to be in the industry, then you would not only answer that question, but you would also give them a pitch deck, what she's talking about. This is my company, this is what we're good at, and this is all our information. And here's a research that I have that's going to help you write your report, making it easy for these reporters to pick up the stories. Then the whole reason why we do all that work is because now that story is published and it says, hey, this company from this website is giving us information and this is their perspective of what's going on. And that link goes back to your website. So then the online credibility goes up, and then so thus your SEO improves. That's the long story to why we want to do digital PR.
Yep. Okay, the last session. Was GEO in action. How the speaker, how they got 999 increase in traffic from ChatGPT. 999%.
Yeah, I thought the speaker was pretty good.
Yeah.
Although most of the speakers here today were like super high energy. I felt like they drink like 10 cups of coffee. But he was giving out really good nuggets of good information.
Yeah.
And overall, like, it was a good hypothesis, right? Like, ask ChatGPT, Perplexity, whoever it is, about the company, and he goes through his entire process. Like, it sounds simple. Like, just go ask, how did I get ranked? How did you come up with these answers?
Right.
But he goes into like each little section and his thought process of how to improve your GEO. Like we talked about GEO, a generative search engine optimization, right? So I thought it was really good information. He also had vibe coded like a bunch of tools to help with that process as well that he shared, which is cool.
Right. And he talked about how to influence AI platforms so that it increases your possibility of being ranked in LLMs as well. So that was really interesting.
That was the most fun part. It's almost like he was trying to hypnotize the LLM to include his company in the search results.
Right.
I forgot the actual acronym he put, but essentially, like he asked, "What's the top 3 brands in my industry?" And he wasn't included. He's like, "Well, why didn't you include me?" And then, "Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good question." And then he's like, "Okay, now next time include this, right?" But not only do it once, he wrote a little code that does it at scale. And it keeps doing the same thing. And he's trying to like hypnotize the LLM to kind of include his, but he's being responsible. He's like, hey, it's inconclusive. Like I tried it. There's nothing that says it doesn't work, but then it's not like a home run either. But I thought that was a pretty creative way to approach and test something that it might be feasible.
Yeah, that was definitely very interesting.
Yeah. A gray hat, I would say.
They're definitely gray. All right, so that was day 1.
Yeah.
We'll see what we're gonna learn tomorrow.
Yeah. Everyone was highly caffeinated, so I just kind of absorbing it all in right now. Day 2.
Day 4. Hi, we're back, and it's day 4 of our conference here in Chiang Mai. Let's ask Victor to see what was the most impactful session that he saw so far.
Yeah, day 4. It's been a long week, and today was completely jam-packed with really, really technical content and a lot of data. So some of the things that stood out to me were some of the myths that are starting to develop already, like LLM.txt, EEAT, like, is AI content going to get you delist or not? There's still a debate on that. I'm on the team that says it's not really the AI content that's getting people delisted, but the people that are being lazy and trying to use AI to write all their content and not following the basic best practices of SEO. So there's no shortcut. I think those people that are trying to use it as a shortcut are the ones that are getting delisted. The other big one is how SEO is not dead and it's really just evolving, now becoming more holistic, and how social media and short form content videos are going to be at the forefront of all this. So lots of really cool stuff. I'm looking forward to the last day.
For this conference, what stood out to me was there was a session that the speaker was talking about social media and influencer marketing and how that line of social media is getting blurred with search and as well as organic search, AI search, Google search, and so forth. I thought it was really insightful to hear about the 4 S's of the customer journey. I have my notes here. The 4 S's are screen, scroll, search, and shop. So that was interesting. I never saw it in that order, and looking at it from the 4S. And she had emphasized and expanded on that this is something that Google is also testing out and making sure that videos, Instagram videos, or social media videos are being listed in Google searches in the future. So I think it's important for a lot of brands to, start paying attention to their social media short form videos, because that will be a big impact for future SEO as well as AI SEO as well.
Day 5, last day.
So we just finished 5 days of the show at Chiang Mai SEO event, and trying to capture our thoughts of the show, what we learned. And then more importantly, to our listeners, pick your brains a little bit, Victor. More importantly, to our listeners, right, and people that are in the B2B space, what should they be paying attention to for their organization from an SEO perspective?
It's been a long week with a lot of information. We've listened to some really, really smart people in the industry that have crunched basically millions of data points. Mm-hmm. So hearing it straight from the bird's mouth, if you will, right? And to kind of grab all that information and dilute it down to maybe the most actionable takeaway, I guess, for our B2B audience, I would say there's 2. And I would say, and the reason why I have 2 is because I have an easy mode and an advanced mode, right?
Okay, what's easy mode?
Easy mode is an AI profile page. And basically, it's just a plain text web page that sits on your footer that describes to the LLMs who you are, what you do, what pain point are you solving, who your ICP is, ideal client profile, right? So in a very concise way, like you're speaking to a robot, right? Nothing fancy, but all the truths about what you want LLMs to know about you. When someone goes to ChatGPT and asks a question, what opinion do you want them to form?
Yeah, I thought that was really smart. It's basically like a README file, but for AI platforms, so that they can just basically crawl that information and you feed them what you want them to know about your company. So yeah, I love that. That was a really good tip that speaker had guided everyone on.
Yeah, so that's the easy mode. And I think it's very actionable for anyone. The more advanced option would be having a customer relationship platform that deals with like tickets. If you're selling anything that's somewhat complex, you're going to have a way for customers to troubleshoot issues. The ticketing system, what was the one? The platform?
Zendesk.
Like Zendesk is a popular one, right? There's a couple of them out there. But having a instance of Zendesk integrated into your website where it has FAQs, it have common issues, troubleshooting, right? Those type of content. One of our speakers did a lot of research on that and, realized that, hey, the LLMs actually like this information. So they'll crawl for like Zendesk, right, as a keyword. And then they'll go in and they'll pull information out from brands like, how do I quick start this product or whatever it is, right? That requires a little bit more advanced setup. So that's why I said it's an advanced mode. But that's also an easy way for LLMs to kind of form an opinion about you and get the useful information.
Okay, so just to recap, in case listeners are wondering, so what you're saying is, let's just say for Ready Outwork, we would open up a Zendesk account and we will have support.readyoutwork.com, and we may have our frequently asked questions on there, and that would be some of the long form questions and then answers. And in those instances, in those content, that would be favorable for a lot of AI platforms to be pulling those questions and answers.
Yeah, correct. So, it's really about like, what are the objections to your brand, right? So one of the speakers talked about like, it's different from Google search. Like, there's discovery happening, like people don't know who you are, but usually when they go to ChatGPT, they already have a good idea of either what you do or who you are. They're just trying to find a good fit. So what are the things that people will object and kind of filter you out, right? And you want to answer those. Let's say if someone's looking for a digital marketing agency, but they require you to do Adobe Experience Manager, AEM, like it's a very enterprise level website platform, right? And if you don't have that, then that's the objection, right? And if we don't do that, then they're not a good fit for me. Things like that you can answer to help the LLMs form a better opinion about whether you're a good fit for the user or not.
All right, I want to thank everyone for watching and following us on our 5-day here in Chiang Mai for this SEO event. We've learned a lot. Still observing and absorbing and observing everything that has been happening the last couple of days. A lot of strategies, a lot of tactics that we can definitely apply immediately when we get back. So very excited to see, what's going to work, what may need some fine tuning. So I'm very excited to see if I can apply whatever we've learned the last couple of days to ourselves as well as, some of our clients. Thank you for watching up until this point. If you like what you're seeing here, like our video, subscribe, and yeah.
Yep. Well, thank you guys for following along. We're still absorbing everything that we learned this week. Some very cool stuff coming down the pipeline. So look forward to future content that we're going to be producing.
Okay. Bye now from Thailand.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Raw Spotlight podcast. We'll see you again next time. And be sure to click subscribe to get future episodes.